What do raclette cheese, David Burtka, and Chef Minnie have in common? They're all brand new to the Food and Wine Festival this year in Epcot, and we've got more details for you on DFD Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we are going to talk about my favorite time of the year, Epcot Food and Wine Festival. It is time to give you guys a preview because there's a lot of new stuff coming, there's a lot of changes happening in Epcot, and there is a ton you need to know before you go to Epcot Food and Wine this year, even if you've been many times before. It's all new and different. First of all, this is running even longer this year from August 29th to November 23rd. It's the longest festival that's ever taken over Epcot. So of course we have some new booths. First up, Appleseed Orchard. Now this will actually be located near the Canada Pavilion next to Le Cellier. And since O Canada is undergoing a refurb, the space will be transformed into a festival area where guests can cool down a bit. Now at that booth, you'll be able to try a charcuterie and cheese board, a caramel apple popcorn dish, and plenty of apple-inspired drinks. The next booth I want to tell you about, I am super excited about. It's called the Alps booth and will feature raclette. Now, if you guys have not had raclette, it is everything that's good about a Swiss dish. It is raclette cheese, which is a particular kind of Swiss cheese, with roasted potatoes and little tiny gherkins and onions, lots of good stuff. It is a vegetarian dish. If you are a vegetarian, this is going to be a good option for you. But it is definitely something I used to eat all the time when I lived in Switzerland, so I'm super excited for raclette to come to the festival. You're also going to get a venison stew at the Alps booth and also a blueberry and almond frangipane tart, along with a frosé. Speaking of new menu items, there are lots of new dishes at this year's festival and lots of dishes that have just been tweaked a little bit. So one good example, the Italy booth is featuring an all new menu this year with ravioli carbonara, can't wait to try that, and a brand new chicken dish. The Mexico booth, which is usually a fan favorite, is bringing a new taco de puerco with shredded pork belly and tostada de carne along with chocolate bread pudding. The Africa booth is debuting a Kenyan coffee barbecue beef tenderloin, and there's going to be some piri-piri shrimp as well. Now, I'm not going to tell you every single new food item in this video. Head over to Disney Food Blog and check out the full menus from every single booth, including a lot of food photos of returning dishes. Over on DisneyFoodBlog.com, there's a little spot in the header that says Epcot Food and Wine. You just click on that and you can get right to the menus and photos through there. Or you can always pick up a copy of the DFB Guide to the Epcot Food and Wine Festival. We work really hard on that to make sure it has all the information you need if you're going to the festival, even for just a half a day. Definitely worth picking that up. All right, new chefs at the festival. Fabio Vivani, David Burtka's gonna be there, Graham Elliott, plus many more new chefs making their first appearances at this year's Food and Wine Festival. New Eat to the Beat concerts are coming. We've got returning favorites like Tiffany, Boyz II Men, Hanson, but this year, new acts are Sawyer Brown, Grace Kelly, Zach Williams, Jimmy Allen, Boyce Avenue, Southern Avenue, India, Spanish Harlem Orchestra, and Chris Allen, among a bunch of others. So there are tons of Eat to the Beat concerts coming this year. Now remember, Eat to the Beat concerts are shown 3 times a night over at the American Gardens Amphitheater. So we've got a few more tips about that for you later on in the video. Now, this is a really fun addition to the festival this year, Emil's Fromage Montage. This is a family-friendly cheese crawl. You purchase any 5 cheese dishes from the festival booths and collect those stamps in your passport, and then head to Shimmering Sips for a complimentary specialty cheesecake. Definitely worth it. Now, there's a ton of new merchandise as well. We're going to talk about this a little bit later, but there's a whole new line of Chef Minnie merchandise featuring lots of rose gold accents, cupcake designs, and things like that. So although a lot of the merchandise lines are coming back again this year, like Figment and Brews Around the World, there will be a brand new Chef Minnie option. Let's talk about what's gone. The most conspicuous thing that's going to be gone is the Festival Center. Yeah, so as part of a huge overhaul of Future World and the Epcot entrance, the Festival Center is no more because that used to be in the Wonders of Life Pavilion. That pavilion's now being turned into a giant play area for kids. So, where's the Festival Center going? Well, we don't really know yet. The low-cost seminars and demonstrations will be taking place in the World Showplace Pavilion, which is over there right in between the UK and Canada in the World Showcase. And Party for the Senses will also be held there. It's always been held there, so that won't be anything new. The chocolate experience, Bean to the Bar, which is that Ghirardelli chocolate situation, is moving to the Land Pavilion. So that used to be in the Festival Center. Now it'll be in the Land Pavilion where you can get that drinking chocolate. So we're not absolutely sure where everything else is going to go that used to be in the Festival Center. We do know that Stockpot Shop is coming back. There'll be places to buy your wines and your cookbooks and things like that, but we aren't 100% sure where that'll be. Maybe it'll be in the Odyssey. Maybe everything will move to World Showplace. We're not sure yet, but we'll let you know. Now, what else is gone? The booths. So there's Taste Track that's been banished from this festival. You guys know they used to have all the cronuts there, so that's gone. And the Grease booth is gone for the first time, I think, in my experience. So that one has been discontinued as well for the 2019 festival. So no loaded nachos or festival exclusive cronuts. Food items that we're not going to see returning. The piggy wings are not returning to Flavors from Fire, although you will be able to get a piggy wing in your swine brine if you really want a piggy wing. And instead, that's being replaced with a steakhouse burger. And France is switching up their beef dish yet again. We really enjoyed the Carmenade de Boeuf last year. But this year we'll be trying the braised beef and Cabernet Sauvignon with red onions and puffed potatoes. So there's a few other food items that are not coming back to the Epcot Food and Wine Festival. Again, that information is in the DFB guide to the Epcot Food and Wine Festival. Special events that we are not seeing on the list at the moment. The Junior Chef Kitchen looks like it's not returning in 2019, but it may still return. A lot of these things they don't actually announce until right before the festival. And the Back to Basics seminars have not been confirmed yet for this year, but I remember last year they weren't confirmed till right before the festival either. So we'll see what happens with the Festival Center and if those Back to Basics seminars come back. Also, let's talk about Liberty Inn. So this quick service location in the America Pavilion has closed in anticipation of reopening as Regal Eagle Smokehouse. So stay tuned to DFB for details on whether Epcot will offer those day of counter service Eat to the Beat dining packages again this year. We haven't heard anything about it. Fingers crossed that they do offer those. But for now, Liberty Inn's not going to be available for you during the festival. Now, here's some tips about what you have to do at the Epcot Food and Wine Festival. The best bang for your buck. There are a few special events that are an awesome deal, both experience-wise and value-wise. The tequila lunch is a great option over there in Mexico. It's a multi-course meal paired with instructional class on tequila. So you'll learn all about types of tequila, how to taste it, and enjoy a stellar meal. This one's $85 plus tax. The Parisian breakfast, we always tout that as one of your best bangs for your buck in the Epcot Food and Wine Festival. That one's a total steal, $45 per person. All you can eat French pastries plus mimosas, some delicious hot chocolate. Definitely worth getting up on a Saturday morning to go to that. The French and Italian regional lunches are awesome. These feature a different chef each week as they introduce you to meals and favorite dishes from their childhood, along with wine pairings, and it's $99 plus tax. Now, all of these book up really fast, but it's worth trying to score a spot if someone cancels or no-shows. So go ahead and get on. You can book them online right now. Next thing you have to do at the festival, eat around the booths. Please don't omit this from your festival experience. Those booths are great. A lot of people think that the booths are the only thing there is in the festival, but of course it's not. That said, you still need to do it. In our DFB guide to the Food and Wine Festival, we have some super fun booth crawls to help you eat your way around the world. One of our favorites this year is called the This Little Piggy Crawl. That one will take you to Active Eats for the loaded mac and cheese with pepper bacon, Brazil for that crispy pork belly, Canada for that cheddar cheese and bacon soup. China has a Year of the Piggy cocktail. Luckily, it doesn't contain pork, we promise. Flavors from Fire does have that swine brine with Jim Beam and totally does contain pork with that piggy wing. Italy has that ravioli carbonara that I can't wait to try. And Mexico has the taco de puerco that we mentioned. So if you're on the Disney dining plan, be sure to save up those snack credits. Use them to eat around the booths. Remember, most of those items are going to be snack credit eligible and they're going to be pretty expensive. So that's going to be a good use of your snack credits. Now, the Eat to the Beat tip that we wanted to share with you. You definitely have to do an Eat to the Beat concert if you are going to the Food and Wine Festival. They're actually totally free to do with the cost of Epcot admission, but there's going to be a really long line, especially if you're going to a very popular act. So we always recommend grabbing a Eat to the Beat dining package, which will pair a meal at one of Epcot's table service locations with a seat for the concert. And that's a guaranteed seat for the concert, by the way. So you get in before everybody else waiting, and you get to have one of those seats up front. It's a great deal because you're not really paying any more for your food. You're paying about what you would pay if you went to a restaurant regularly, and then you get that ticket on top of it. So that's awesome. And again, all the information about that is in our DFB guide to the Epcot Food and Wine Festival, and it's also on DisneyFoodblog.com. Now, let's talk about the kids really quickly. Here's what the kids have to do. Hopefully, they will enjoy Remy's Ratatouille Hide and Squeak. This is back again. It's a scavenger hunt around World Showcase where they'll hunt for Remy in several countries and get a little prize at the end. And of course, there's that cheese crawl that you guys have to do as a family. But there's also Candy Sushi. The Candy Sushi class is back again this year. This one's super fun. Kids can create their own candy sushi. It's $10 per person this year instead of free. And the class is held daily at 3:30 and 5:30 at Sunshine Seasons in the Land Pavilion in Future World. But that one can be booked in advance, and I recommend that you do because it does sell out. All right, tips for this year specifically, because this year is very, very different, my friends. How to manage food and wine during the era of Galaxy's Edge. So Disney World is set up for one of the craziest days ever, with both the Food and Wine Festival and Galaxy's Edge opening on the same day. So expect big crowds if you're there for opening day for either of those, especially at the beginning and end of the festival and on weekends. Because Galaxy's Edge opens on the same day as the Food and Wine Festival, that means that the Food and Wine Festival will be going on during Disney World's busiest time basically ever. So go to the booths right at 11 when they open. They'll get more crowded as the evening goes on, so get there right at 11 when they open. Book things in advance. Don't wait. You might be disappointed if the event you wanted to go to sells out. Visit on a weekday if you can. That'll be much, much, much better than the weekends when all the locals come out. And avoid holidays and 3-day weekend weeks. Those are all going to be way more crowded than a weekday on a week with no extra special events going on. So again, this year we may not have a dedicated festival center. So what happens? It seems like most things have migrated to the World Showplace, but you can expect some festival merch to pop up in locations around Epcot. Also, don't forget to grab a festival passport. You'll find them at all the food booths, so you can check off items as you try them. Or better yet, grab that DFB guide to Walt Disney World Dining so you can plan your trip ahead of time based on what's happening on the day you are there. All right, manage your budget this year, you guys. Like everything at Disney, costs can add up fast. So if you want to keep track of your festival spending and get a memento, pick up one of the wristlet gift cards so you don't have to pull your card out each time you make a purchase. You can just pre-fill that card with how much you want to pay, and once it's gone, it's gone. That helps to manage your budget, especially if you're drinking around the world. Now, this is my personal trick that I always use. It's get a tray. This is super helpful when you're juggling food and drinks and wandering around the festival trying to find some place to sit and eat. Now, they do have little tiny festival trays. They call them trays, but they're not. They're just plates. And they maybe hold one food item. Plus, they're super expensive. And again, they're tiny. So I always recommend you grab a cheap little tray at Walmart or Target and pack it in your park bag. That way you can pick up a few dishes at a time, head to a cool spot to eat. Also, if you're interested, Disney Food Blog does have bumper stickers that you can use to decorate your tray. These are so much fun, and I love when people buy these. I love seeing people at the festival that have them. It says it's an official Food and Wine Festival tray. All right, so just to be prepared, here's a little more rundown of what else is new in Epcot and is going to affect the festival. There's a lot going on. Takumite, the new signature restaurant in Japan, is open. Definitely a date night or celebration restaurant. It's expensive and it's a long meal. Also, there's lots of closures coming up. So in addition to the ones we already mentioned, you've got Club Cool, Penn Central, Fountain View, Mouse Gear, and Electric Umbrella all closing this fall, most just for renovations, but some of them we're not quite sure what's going to happen next. So a lot of things will be changing, and there will be a lot of construction during the festival period. Also, there's going to be extra magic hours running from September 1st to November 2nd for resort guests, which may draw guests to the other parks early in the day, also meaning you can head to the other parks early in the day and hop on a few rides before beginning your Food and Wine Festival tour. So hopefully that's helpful to you guys. There's a lot happening at the festival this year. Don't forget, we'll be back with a best of the fest as soon as we experience it for the first day. And of course, we'll also be at Galaxy's Edge that day, so we'll be back with a lot more information about Galaxy's Edge too. So thank you guys for listening. Thanks for watching. Give us a subscribe and please like this video if you enjoyed it and if it helps you plan for the Food and Wine Festival. This is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.